Hi, and welcome to Yale University for the CS50 Fair. We're so excited. We have about 350 students coming in today to show off their final projects. Most of these students have never, ever taken any kind of computer science or programming before, and it is an absolute amazing accomplishment what you're going to see today. My name is Brian Scossalotti. I'm the instructor here at Yale, and we are very happy to welcome you to Commons and the CS50 Fair. Enjoy.
Hi there, my name is Sam, and this is the CS50 Fair 2015. I have with me Philip, who is a freshman in Davenport, and he's got an awesome project to show off right now. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it, Philip?
All right, so I've always liked music for a long time, and there's a bunch of audio visualizers online, but they all kind of suck. So what I thought was I wanted to make an audio visualizer that's more directly responsive to sound. So I worked with the Mozilla Audio API online, and what it does is it takes the audio input from the computer's microphone, does something called a fast Fourier transform on it, which cuts it into easily readable frequencies, and then each frequency corresponds to a different bar on this visualizer that you see here. And what you see here is each bar is visualizing a specific frequency. The red flashes are when each bar hits its maximum decibel level. And at the top you can see just the visualized text bouncing to what is the typical trance beat.
Yeah, wow. That's super cool. So it's listening in through the built-in microphone in your computer.
Yes. My original intention was for it to respond to all system sound, but I did not know how hard that could be. So right now it's just responding to the max audio microphone.
Well, let me tell you, it looks incredible. And how did you find your semester of CS50 this semester?
It was tough, to be honest, but I did enjoy it for the experience. I've never done any form of computer science in the past, and I think it was a good introduction, and it definitely whetted my appetite.
Yeah, and like, look what you just created. I mean, this is quite the achievement. I want to buy this.
Also, if you can change different.
Oh wow!
You can change it to big, like a.
Whoa! Oh, so that looks more like the
Yeah, that's like an actual audio equalizer.
Yeah! Wow!
A sine wave. If
Whoa!
you like waves, I don't know.
That's amazing.
So yeah, that's my project.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, Philip.
Thank you very much.
And this was CS50.
Hi, I'm Summer Wu, and I'm here today with Candace Huang, who has a really cool project to show us. So Candace, can you tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, sure. So what I built was a website that allows me to view multiple displays of classical Chinese poetry all in one place. So let me just show you, for example, this poem. So the reason I decided to build a website with all of these different displays is because personally, learning classical Chinese has been a struggle, and I've had to like open up different books and like open up multiple different tabs on my screen to try and see these different translations. So this puts it all in one place, and I can also toggle. If I only want to see these two views of original Chinese and modern Chinese, I can do that. Going through, if I want to tell which line corresponds to which, I can select a line to highlight, and the corresponding lines highlight everywhere. And for a slightly longer piece, I can also scroll, and there's going to be synchronized scrolling in all the other views as well.
Very cool. This is such a sleek project. Where'd you get the inspiration for the design?
I mean, design was really just looking online, like sourcing out what other people have done in the past, and just finding a design that I thought looked cool.
Cool.
And I mean, it is a Yale CS50 class, so the Yale blue helps as well. Yeah.
How did you choose the poems?
The poems are by two authors that are generally considered to be really famous Chinese poets, and then of those I selected some of their more famous pieces as well. Yeah.
Where do you want to take this project next? Do you plan to keep working on it, or what are some other features you might want to develop?
Yeah, so if I have time, what I hope to do is create another function somewhere down here where if you select it, you can input text. So if you have a poem or some other classical Chinese piece that you want displayed in this manner, you can input whatever you want, and it'll show up and do the same things like highlighting corresponding lines and scrolling, synchronized scrolling, etc. So instead of turning it into just a display, it'll turn into an educational tool that anyone can use.
That is super cool. What was the most difficult part technically for it? I mean, it's a very complicated
most difficult part.
Content.
I guess like trying to envision how I would get all of these lines of poems to correspond to each other, and eventually what I decided on was to use a SQL database where each row is one corresponding line on the poem. That's how I was able to get the highlighting to work as well, is to just set the class name for this span to be the line number.
Well, this is a very neat final CS50 project.
Thank you.
Do you have any advice going forward for future students of CS50?
I mean, just take it and stick with it, I guess. It's definitely a really fun class, a challenging class. Perhaps takes more work than you anticipate going in at first, but getting a final project out is definitely very worth the hard work that you put into it coming into the class. Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for your time, Candace.
Yeah, thank you,
It's really
Summer.
cool to see your project.
Hello again. I'm Sam, and I have with me here Tim and Kai, who are going to present their awesome new, is it a social network? Tell me what exactly you're building here.
Yeah, it's a social media site. So basically it's a site where you get to share the media that you're most interested in right now. So the site is called Upbeat, and you can access it at turnupbeat.com.
Oh.
So at this website, you get to share a song from SoundCloud, a video from YouTube, and an image, GIF, or album from Imgur, and also your favorite word. And you get to share that with all your friends and check out what your friends are posting.
Yeah, wow, that sounds awesome. Could we, can I quick see how it works?
Sure,
Just real
I'll give
quick?
you a little demo. So right now we're on the homepage, so you can see these 4 links here that I'm sort of scrolling my mouse over. These are the links to the 4 different feeds. So we can click on one, so let's click on songs. So it brings us to the song feed, and as you can see, these are all the songs that other people have posted. So we can see Kai, our friend here, really likes the Barney theme song. So let's play that and just listen to how glorious
It's
that is.
a classic.
An absolute classic. All right, so we can scroll down, we can see some interesting ones. So let's go to my page and see what we can do there. So we're gonna click on my profile. So it'll show you all the things I have uploaded right now. So to sort of demo what we can do, I'm gonna show you how to upload a new song.
That's awesome.
So I've loaded a link to SoundCloud here that I'm just gonna copy and paste. So if I wanna upload a new song, all I have to do is click on this button, paste in the URL, and I'm gonna cross my fingers that this works.
Well, it says uploaded.
And look,
Hey, look at that.
so it's pretty cool.
Wow, hey, that's
do the
nice.
same thing with any YouTube URL. So we're gonna do that with a YouTube URL.
Two-lander.
The new
I'm ready.
Zoolander movie.
I'm ready.
I'm pretty excited as well. So it just automatically uploads anything you input with just the URL.
Wow, that's so
it's pretty
quick.
cool.
And
So
so
then-
your favorite word is 31 high. I
Yeah,
see.
that's my residence in New Haven.
oh,
Pretty proud of it. So hopefully that doesn't come.
Any fan mail, just please direct it to 31 High Street.
Yeah. But all fan mail and questions, please send it to 31 High Street in New Haven.
Oh.
And so we can go back and we can check out all the other feeds too.
So does now that you've uploaded, so your video is now uploaded in the feed as well. Oh,
My video is
that's-
now changed in the feed as
Wow.
well. Yeah,
That's
it's
all
pretty
very
cool.
slick. Well, that looks so cool. And how did you, admittedly, this might be a little bit of a loaded question since I was your TA this semester, but how did you find your semester of CS50?
I love CS50. I think I learned an incredible amount in CS50. I think I went from being a pretty basic programmer to being able to make a full-fledged website, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Kai says it's cool. You know it's cool.
Indeed. And so with that, will you say our closing words?
This was CS50.
This was CS50.
It was CS50.
Hello, we're back here with Jordan today, who's going to tell us a bit about this awesome-looking contraption. So, Jordan, what is this?
I'm calling this the Wildfire lamp. Couldn't really come up with a great name, but it's basically a lamp and music visualizer that I just have hanging from my ceiling in my dorm room, and you can control it from this phone app. So if you press this mode button here, so now it's responding to the music in the room. It's kind of tough to see because it's so bright in here, and the music's pretty far away. But I can control the brightness to turn it up a little bit. And there's 4 different modes. So the first mode is the one you just saw, and the color is controlled by the sound.
How does the sound control the color? Is it when it's loud or beats or?
Yeah, so it's hopefully in the end, I'll keep working on this and get it to go off pitch. So it'll recognize notes, and then each note will have an assigned color. Then the brightness will be controlled by the volume. But right now, I couldn't get the program small enough to fit on the Arduino that controls this, so it just goes all off a volume level.
Gotcha. So do you have a background with programming Arduino before? Because this has quite a bit of hardware as well as software, it seems.
Yeah, I didn't have any experience with the hardware. I spent at least half the time working on just like the physical object. Inside is just an Arduino, a microphone, and also a Bluetooth speaker that I use just in my room to play music onto, and then it responds really well to the audio levels from that.
Oh. So have you hung this in your room, held any sweet parties with it? How have people reacted?
No, but I'm really excited to because, for example, the strobe effects.
Oh, wow.
And some different color modes. So this one's going through a rainbow, and this one has like a rainbow going all around it. And this too can be controlled by
I want to go to your suite. Let me know when you have your next suite party.
Yeah, and that's most of the controls that are on this.
Cool. Yeah. So what do you think of CS50 of the class overall?
It was really hard. This definitely made it worth it, like getting to build something real, like from scratch. But
do you have a favorite highlight you'd like to share?
Definitely this project. The P sets were all like really tough. But I like this. I like the office hours, like getting to work with a lot of people. Yeah, overall it was a good experience.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks so much for sharing your project with us. Can't wait to see it in action.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So I was walking around and found this really cool flashing ball and wanted to hear a bit more about it. So why don't you start by introducing yourselves?
I'm Nick Kelly, economics major in Timothy Dwight College.
I'm Abby Young. I'm also an economics major in Berkeley. I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lee, and I'm a junior in Jonathan Edwards College, majoring in ecology and evolutionary biology.
Neat. So can you tell me a bit about your project? What is this?
Yeah, sure. So it's a game called Color Crunch, and it's aimed towards helping children with autism spectrum disorder work on skills such as color, memory, sequencing, and just general interaction with technology. Yeah, patience is also a skill. There are a few different levels that go up to 20 different colors, and basically what this game does is it shows colors at different speeds to correlate to difficulty, and if the child matches the color in increasing sequencing, then the Color Crunch returns a positive reinforcement noise, like yay. And if the child gets it wrong, then there's a negative reinforcement noise, like uh-oh.
Wow, can we get a demo?
Yeah, absolutely. So we select a sequence. We just have the sequence predetermined. So the first 3 are actually set to be on the easy level. The middle 4 are set to be medium, and the bottom 3 are set to be hard. So basically what happens is that any sequence that's selected in the easy level, the color will be displayed for 3 seconds. The medium level will be displayed for 2, and the hard will be displayed for 1. So in the hard levels, it's pretty much just like a rapid fire game. It's just a little bit harder to remember. So Sarah's gonna select Rainbow Run, which is one of the easy sequences. So it'll display green, and then it'll turn white. So she'll hit green on the screen. Sphero will turn green, then white. Green, white again. Then it'll turn blue. So then Sarah will click green and then blue. And so then you can see that as the kid presses the buttons in the game, it'll also turn that color of the Sphero. So it's just more of a reinforcement thing that the pattern is matching. You can see it. So now we just have a green, blue, red. And it'll just keep going on and so forth.
So then let's imagine we got something wrong. So it wants us to say green, blue, red, blue. But let's say we do green, blue, green.
Okay.
So let's wait for it. Okay. So now we're going to say green, blue, green. Since that was wrong, it's going to automatically exit out of the program.
Gotcha.
And that's one of the ways that you'll know that you messed up. You'll also know because it will project some sort of a sound. It's an ouch sound, and that will indicate to the child that they haven't succeeded and it's a chance to start over and try again. And so the idea is to really emphasize patience, resilience, not giving up, and it's okay to fail because I'm actually the only person who's won on expert mode. So
oh, wow.
It's a difficult and lifelong endeavor.
Did you program that mode?
Yeah, so each mode is going to have smaller and smaller transitions. in color sequences. So as you notice when Sarah and Abby were doing those last 2 runs, there was a little bit of delay as it was going from green to then white to blue to red and so forth and so on. So as you go on down the sequences and increase the difficulty level, it'll just cycle through them a lot faster, so it becomes more challenging.
Very cool. So what are the next steps? Do you plan to actually bring this to autism patients and try it out?
So actually we were speaking with one of our advisors on the project who said that that was definitely a very possible reality.
Shout out to Laura.
Right, we'd like to thank very explicitly Laura Bokenfasu, who was I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but her first name is Laura, and she was absolutely just immeasurably helpful to us, and we could not be more grateful. Also, Charlie Proctor was of a huge help to us, who's a TA in this class, great guy. Yeah, like we were saying, I think there's a very good chance that we might actually bring the robot into an elementary school and test it out. Certainly there are refinements that can be made a little bit more exciting, clean things up here and there, but I think the idea is there, and we'd be curious to see how children react to it.
Awesome. So on a final note, now that you're almost done with the class, do you have any advice for CS50 students moving forward in future years?
Well, I would say that CS50 was a great experience, but it's something that you should also know isn't just fun and games like this final project ended up being. It was a huge learning curve, but I do think that it's something useful and something that I will use regardless of whether I continue to do more in computer science courses. Yeah, I think it was great.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you three so much for your time. Awesome project, and can't wait to see what comes of it.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hello again, and welcome back to the CS50 Fair 2015 at Yale. I'm Sam, and I have with me Gaurav, who is a freshman in Brantford, and he has created a crazy set of lights that are controlled by his fist. And so, could you tell me a little bit more about what your project does, or maybe just show me?
Sure, so check this out.
Okay, so you just turn on the lights,
yeah,
I guess.
I can make it change colors, so.
Wow.
Yeah?
Wow.
I can do more stuff like that. I can turn it off. I can turn it on.
This is crazy.
So yes, that is gesture control lighting.
That's what it does. And how did you do this? This is so you're using an armband.
Yes. So there are two main components to this. The first part is the myo armband. Mm-hmm. Myo comes from electromyography, so they are able to sense your musculoskeletal activity and basically recognize if I'm making a fist or waving out or waving in and doing different stuff. And these are like the Philips Hue lights. Mm-hmm. So these are just normal lights that connect to any wall socket, but the twist is they can be controlled by Wi-Fi using a Philips Hue bridge.
Wow.
So this is able to send commands to the bridge, and the bridge in turn is able to make this do different stuff.
Wow. So this is all happening over Wi-Fi because your computer's over there, right?
Yes, my computer's way over there.
So, wow. I guess okay, now it's on again. All right.
I'm just, changing it, like turning it off.
You're just changing it to freak me out, I guess. And so how did you, obviously it's ended with quite a bang. How did you find your semester with CS50?
Oh, so CS50, it was a really great class. So I love the amount of, different stuff that we could do here. So in the class, we did things like PHP, Java, and JavaScript and all these things. And again, on the project, I got to work with hardware stuff. Yeah. So this has been a really great class, learning JavaScript and PHP in 1 week. So
it's definitely
this
quick.
This is a great class.
And to close it off, do you have any final words?
This is gesture control lighting, and this is CS50.
Amazing. And I'm Sam, and this is the CS50 Fair 2015. And with me, I have Chris, Sasha, and Kate, and they're here to demo Let's Eat, right? Well, let's see it.
We made a web-based app called Let's Eat at Yale, through which you can log in, make an account, and then you can check into a dining hall and view where your friends are eating. So it's essentially a way to find your friends and eat with them and not be lonely at meals. You can send and receive friend requests, and it functions kind of like Facebook in that respect.
So like you don't want to be lonely when you're eating, right? Nobody does. So with Let's Eat, you can log in, I'm going to log into CS50.fair. Its purposes for this demonstration. You log in. It's optimized for mobile, so it's going to look good on your phone. There's big buttons. Hopefully you'll use it because there's big buttons and everybody likes to press big buttons. So options are here. You can check into a dining hall. You can check out if you're checked in. I happen to be checked in, which isn't true. And you can view your friends, and you can grow your squad, which is the most important thing. You want to grow your squad.
I would like to grow my squad.
Yes.
Yes.
So here I have my friend requests. David Malin's on here.
Has David responded yet? He has not responded. All right, we will tell David to respond.
Yes. And then you also have your outgoing friend requests, which I have not sent any, and you can add friends by username. So essentially, how it works is that you view your friends, you see where they're eating. A lot of people happen to be eating in Morse, technically.
I think we have some bias towards Morse in this group.
Yes. And then you can check in yourself. So if I want to eat at Morse, I can check in at Morse. If I want to eat Styles
Morse
elsewhere.
bias. I'm telling you.
And yeah, once you're checked in for good. Well, not for good. Until you want to check out. And so yeah, so that's essentially the basic function of Let's Eat.
That's awesome, guys. And you want to, so like from start, where did you start at the beginning of the semester and where are you now? How was your time with CS50?
I started not really understanding at all what computer science was, so I think I learned a little bit about different languages and the general logic, and we got somewhere.
Yeah,
so.
Look at this. I mean, this is a long way from not knowing any computer science, as you say.
Yeah, but I think that like we all started in different places, so there was quite a diversity in the course.
Well, that's what group projects are, the future of work, and collaboration is so important. And it's so cool to see you guys coming together after a hard, grueling semester of PSETs to really put together this cool thing. Thank you guys so much. Do you have any final words for our audience?
CS50. This was CS50.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Hi, we're here today with Yerin Kim, who has an awesome game to show us. Yerin, do you want to tell us a bit about your project?
Hi, so yeah, this is a game. It's called Mountain. I coded it in something called Unity. It has basic game mechanics, so you can zoom in and out with your mouse button, move around your mouse with the camera, and then you can move with your arrow keys. What makes the game special is that there are these red dots. They're monsters. They're monsters because they're red. And you can run into them. And your goal is to get to the top of the mountain. You can't really see it from here, but there's a tower at the top that you want to get to. And you fight the monsters by running into them with your shield up. So if you shield, you press V, and the guy turns blue. The problem is that every time you shield, you lose a life, so you don't want to shield without running into a monster. Because if you kill a monster, you gain a life back. So can you hold this mic for me? Yeah.
Little demo.
Okay, yeah. So you want to run into the thing, and then you shield, and then the monster dies. Yay! I honestly think the coolest part of this project is that this terrain is supposed to be East Rock Park in New Haven, which you can see here. So here, let's see. Yep. So this is the river. This way's north. This goes down into the bay, and then this mountain right here is supposed to be East Rock, which took a lot of time, but I'm really proud of it.
Do you go to East Rock a lot?
I don't go to it a lot, but I try to go a little every once in a while in the morning.
So what was your inspiration for this game?
My partner and I really wanted to do something that looked cool, but wasn't necessarily something useful like an app. So we decided that we really
not useful, purposely
yeah,
not
but
useful.
really cool, really cool. So we really enjoy East Rock Park, so we wanted to do something that was modeled off a mountain. And then the gameplay kind of evolved around that because at first we wanted to do that you walked along a path, but it turns out making a path that you can't go off of is really difficult. So we ended up with this idea of monsters and shielding, and it was a bit complicated, but it was very possible to implement. So that's how we got there.
It's gorgeous, like visually stunning. Was learning Unity a big learning curve?
Yeah, it was a really big learning curve. It's a really powerful program, but if you try to learn Photoshop, there's a big learning curve. It's really hard to learn, but once you know it, it's really powerful. I think it's the same thing with Unity. So it took a lot of time to get to learn. A lot of stuff you do in Unity is in this object hierarchy over here, and that wasn't the most intuitive thing to learn. And every time you write a script, you have to attach it to an object. So that was also kind of hard to learn. But I think it was worth it. It's very powerful.
Gotcha. Do you see a future for yourself in video game development?
Oh man, I don't know. I think that would be really cool. I really enjoy playing video games. It's very near and dear to my heart. So if they'll have me, I totally go.
All right. So now that CS50 is almost done, do you have a favorite highlight you'd like to share from the past semester?
Oh man. I think coding with your friends late at night is a big bonding experience. I had a friend who was the more humanities side than STEM, so it was really nice introducing her to the world of problem sets. Every week you have to do your homework. I think that was really nice, though. It was a good bonding experience, and we learned a lot. So,
awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for sharing your project here.
Right. Hello again, I'm Sam, and this is the Yale CS50 Fair 2015. I have Jacob with me here. Hello, Jacob. How are you today?
Doing great, Sam.
Are you enjoying the fair so far?
Loving the fair. It's
amazing. Well, tell me a little bit about your project.
All right, well, I, as a musician and someone who just loves studying music and learning about music, really wanted to create a tool that would help beginning students of music, and especially music theory, learn about chords and learn about how to analyze chords, because I remember very clearly how hard it was for me back when I was a student in high school, learning, what's a major chord, what's a minor chord. It's not the easiest thing. So I just wanted to create something that could maybe help out.
Amazing. Can we have a little bit of a demo of
Sure,
how it works?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically, if you see here, this is just a Sibelius file, and we have some chords on here. These are seventh chords, just a particular flavor of chord, but we don't have any information about them. We could have just inputted them because we have a homework assignment, or we just want to write something. So basically, the first step to learning more about these chords will be going over here and exporting the file as a MIDI. So we go over to MIDI export, and once you do that, we can come over here to the CS50 IDE. And so
the MIDI is already in the file on the left. Great.
So we would drag the MIDI file into our program folder over here. And so in this case, it is here, sevenths.mid.
Awesome.
And so there are two programs in play here. The first is called MIDI to ASCII. It's available online. And I took it and made some creative changes to it, especially to the way it outputs information to make that output more useful to me. So
as long as it's open source,
exactly.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I credited the author and everything. So if we do MIDI to ASCII sevenths.mid to sevenths.text, right here, then a text file will appear right here below the MIDI file.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just information that's contained in the MIDI file type. We have bar values. CR is crotchet or beat, different way of saying beat.
Very
and then
nice.
we have the note values here themselves. But this doesn't really tell us much, because if you can read music, then you'll know what these note values are from the Sibelius file. So the main component of my project is this program called parse.c, written in C, and it basically takes the information that we just got from our text file and groups the notes in meaningful ways and analyzes them. So if we run parse, and then we drag the terminal up so we can see what we have, drag this down. So first we have, again, kind of a reprint of the basic information. The note count here, this is what note in the score it is, bar, beat, pitch class. Pitch integer refers to the normalized, on a sort of 1 octave scale, where does the note fall? And that's the key to analyzing the chords. So if we scroll down, we'll see a key signature hypothesis, C major.
Wow.
And then the 4 chords right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the note values. And the lowest key information here is relevant if you're looking to provide a sort of Roman numeral analysis that you might do in class, where the lowest note actually is very important to the inversion of the chord, if you're notating correctly. More importantly, though, we have the quality of the chords here. So quality, major 7th chord root position. So if we go back to our Sibelius file, we can see that the first chord is in fact a major 7th chord in root position.
Wow.
And then we go down here, no chord identifiable for the second chord. Why might that be? Just so happens that the notes we inputted for our second chord don't really register as something that would be commonly used in the classical harmonic language. Bach, Mozart, not really about this chord.
They wouldn't have anything to do with this chord.
Exactly, not really about it.
So, get it out of my music.
Yeah, get it out. So, of course, no chord identifiable. And that's pretty much it. So there's the analysis of the chord qualities. And the way that I did this analysis involves these note differentials here. Just to clarify what those are.
Wow.
These are the values that represent semitone, like 1 key on the piano, in between every note of the chord. And so that is how, because every chord you can build above a note has a unique set of differentials. And so just by sort of looking through those, we can get the quality.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, clearly you produced like a really awesome thing that has combined your love of music with programming. Where did you start at the beginning of CS50, and how would you say this semester was, and how would you say that you've improved?
Well, CS50 has been quite a journey, to say the least. This is my first computer science class ever.
Amazing, wow.
I came into CS50 very excited, but also not knowing what to expect. And I certainly did not expect the course to push me and challenge me as much as it did. And it was a struggle. It really was. C is a difficult language to learn. And I found that out the hard way, both in the course and in the final project, because it was like teaching calculus to a second grader at times. I was like, why can't you just see that these things should be so easy to like group together? But no. So it actually taught me a lot about dealing with logic problems. And overall, I just could see myself growing from problem set to problem set.
Wow.
The course pushes you really quickly, but it's for the better, I think.
Wow, that's an incredible journey. Thank you so much for your time, Jacob.
Thank you, Sam.
Do you have any final words?
This is CS50.
Thank you so much.
I'm here with Erica Hairston today with a really neat website to show you. So Erica, can you tell me a bit about your project?
Hi, yeah, so what I chose to do is I worked on a website that is supposed to be around what's been happening on campuses recently. I'm not sure how many people know, but have read media where Yale and other schools have been talking about movements around underrepresented groups and minorities. And so I personally felt like the media was taking a lot of voice from the students and sometimes not telling the full story. So I wanted to create a website where students could tell their own stories from no matter what school they went to. And so the way it works is you just log in with your school EDU. So right now I'm CS50. And when you log in, it knows what school you go to based on your email address. And the way it works is it's kind of like a group blog where you can post 4 different types of things. So media, where there's a video or a picture, or you can do a book suggestion or a class about underrepresented groups and minorities at your school. And as you can see, it's kind of like a feed. So this is all the Yale posts. So CS50 posted this book, and Erica posted this video, and Joel posted that. So this is everything that's been happening at Yale.
I see.
Yeah, and the cool thing also is if you want to see what's happening at other campuses, I could just type in, say, Harvard, for instance, and let's see what's happening at Harvard. Okay, cool. So this is like a person at Harvard who decided this is important to be heard, and that's how they posted. And this is contributions to how you can add to the website.
Yeah. So how do you see this fitting in with the existing news sources on campus? Like here we have Down Magazine, we have the Yale Daily News. At Harvard, they have the Harvard Crimson.
Yeah, so basically, I actually used Down as kind of an inspiration. I thought that they did a great job giving students of color voices on campuses, but I also wanted to make it so that it would be across schools so that we could see people at Harvard and see people at Mizzou and et cetera in one space. And also, like, if you're not necessarily a publication writer, you also can contribute to it in different ways. So if you've seen a video that you want to contribute, you can also just do as little as that rather than have to do a whole article. Yeah.
So do you plan to actually roll this out?
I actually really do hope to do so. I know I want to work on a few extra features so that it's easier to search through posts or something like that. But I had so much fun working on it that I want to work on it over break to actually continue it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this is a very sleek site, very well done. Did you come in with any sort of computer science background to CS50?
So yeah, last year I took the Intro to CS class 112 and then 201. But I hadn't had much experience at all with HTML, CSS, and I was brand new to PHP and JavaScript, which were actually my main languages that I used here. And I also realized that I really enjoy working with back-end database things, and doing SQL was a lot of fun. So,
yeah. All right, so you plan to continue with the computer science?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I want to be a computer science major, and I actually am definitely interested more in website development and seeing where that can go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then do you have any last bits of advice for future CS50 students that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I guess the advice I would give for future CS50 students is if you're ever doubting yourself and it's really hard in the middle, just think about where you could be at the end and really trust yourself. And if you're specifically someone who is not the typical engineer or doesn't look like the typical engineer, really trust that you can do this and that you have the capabilities. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, this was an awesome project, and I can't wait to see it out. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi everyone, I'm here at the fair with Sophia and Damla, and I'm really excited to hear about your project. So please tell us more about what's going on.
Okay, we'll just dive in. So we made a website about sexual assault reporting and resources. First, we have a homepage where we talk about our purpose and how to use the website. Afterwards, we have a information page where people can get more information about what sexual assault is, what consent means, and then we also have a resources page that talk about the certain resources we have at Yale, which also direct you to the different links of those pages. Our main purpose is identifying repeat offenders. So for that, we have a reporting page, and then a feedback and a community page where people can access after they made accounts. And Sophia's going to talk a bit more about the reporting portion we have.
So we decided to make this site based on the fact that 9 out of 10 sexual assaults that occur on college campuses are by repeat offenders. And so this way the site works is you just make an account using your Yale email. Then you can file a report with the name of the person. You have to provide a directory link, meaning this person has to be affiliated with Yale. That means that they can be part of the staff, a grad student, or an undergrad. And then you provide information about your relationship with this person, location, date, and time, whether any substances were involved. Once you submit this form, you'll get an email saying thank you for your submission. If you didn't actually submit this form, please contact administration in case somebody created an account in your name. And then nothing will happen until somebody else reports the same person. Then you'll get an email notifying you that this person is a repeat offender and let you know that these are you have various resources in which you could actually officially file a complaint. So basically, filing this report is not an official complaint, but it kind of allows victims to kind of be passively part of the reporting process and not feel the pressure to report in person or be identified based on their case. So once you're Dama will talk about the admin page.
Yeah, and one good thing with the reporting is once you file a report, we don't do anything. And we're hoping that once people know that the person that they reported is a repeat offender, that might be the extra push they need to actually file an official complaint and do something to stop this from happening again to other people. Besides that, we have an admin page where if you and your account is in the admin's database, you have access to all the reports that have been filed, the repeat offenders reports, and the feedback forms that have been submitted. The good thing is, for example, in the repeat offenders, we only identify the people that submitted the form by their ID, so it's completely confidential. Even if you report someone, your name or your email is definitely not going to be associated with that. And another thing we have on the admin page is, any admin can grant other users admin access if they need to be a part of that process, but not many people do, and not many people can see this besides us at the moment. And yeah, that's our project.
So I guess my question is, coming into the class, coming into CS50, could you imagine that computer science programming could have some applications in the real world that are so important and have so many? Could you see yourselves finishing the class with a project of such importance? And
well, I think
it's a kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I feel like we knew these sort of systems could exist, but I never in a million years thought I or Sophia would be the one to make them or actually come up with this cool idea that we were talking in the middle of the night and then actually make it a reality and make this website where people can access and use it as freely as they want. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, especially just the fact this could actually make campuses a safer place. And really encourage victims to feel better.
Isn't that extremely exciting?
Yeah, so it's pretty great, yeah. And we're really happy that we can even make a website at this point too, whether or not it has a positive impact.
Yeah. So I guess the message you have for everyone is,
yes, if he's amazing.
Yeah, ComSci is not all about not sleeping at night.
Right.
I mean,
it's partially about that.
There's a good amount of not sleeping associated with it, but
yeah,
at the same time,
it's a lot of work.
No, that's because you just get so into it and you want to finish it and you want to do more, and the more you do it, you want to do more of it. So it's just a good sort of non.
She can really attest to it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So
I'm Damla.
And I'm Sophia. And this is CS50.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm a course assistant for CS50, and today I'm here interviewing Chris about her final project.
My name is Chris, and I'm a photographer, and I run a business called Chris and Photography. So for my CS50 final project, I created a website for that.
Nice. Do you want to show us how your website works and what you've got going on?
I would love to. So right here on the side, we have all of my different pages, and there's home, which is where we are now, and the about page is a short bio, a photo, and then these icons, which will bring you to my pages on those respective websites. And then we have the contact page, which is a form which will format your input into an email that gets sent to me.
Very cool.
Then we go to gallery, and we have the options of portraits, or events, or adventures. So you can choose a category, and there will be an image with thumbs underneath, and when you click on those, they'll be enlarged. Oh, that's a little too much. Sorry, I forgot I zoomed in for this. So you can see the photo full screen.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Very nice. And I noticed that you've got these great, so it turns green every time you click on like which section you're on.
It does.
Very nice.
And then another feature I have that will be set up once I've had clients now that I just set this up is my gallery, and they'll enter their gallery ID, log in, and it'll bring them to a page like this for the photos that we took.
Wow, that's so cool. That's really exciting. Do you want to tell us a little bit about like how you got the inspiration for this? Were you thinking about this for a long time, or how'd you come to it?
So I've always wanted to have a nice, really functional website for my photography business. That's just what I want. So when one of the options for my final project was to create my own website, I said, oh, perfect. And I wanted to have a final project that would be something I'd continue to use.
Yeah.
So I actually designed the website on a bus in Iceland at 2 in the morning. I was coming back from like a trek out to see the Northern Lights, and I had this notebook with me, and it was like in the dark, so I'm scribbling. I drew out like what I wanted each page
you want to
look
show us
like.
each of the pages that you drew and kind of describe?
So here's
I can
my
hold your microphone for you.
Thank you. So here's my contacts page. I knew like what I wanted to write, and then the form fields I wanted. And I originally thought my menu would be at the top with the squares, but I decided to put it at the side. My gallery, I knew I wanted to have those 3 separate categories, and then the My Gallery page. And my login, I originally had I wanted my clients to put in an email and a password, but I decided instead to just give them a gallery ID so they can share it with others. And they can say, hey, head over, just put in like Christmas 2015, and it'll show you all the photos.
Very nice.
So that was my design process.
Really awesome. And finally, last question, do you want to tell us like the piece you're proudest of this, or the process you went through, or?
I don't know. I cleaned up my logo for this. I was pretty proud of that.
Very cool.
It was a little outdated.
I love the logo. It looks really nice. This is a great project. Thank you so much for showing it to us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Amelia.
And I'm Chris.
And this is CS50.
Hi everyone, I'm here with Shannon at the fair. And Shannon, please talk to us about your final project.
Sure. So this is Running Buddy, the workout matchmaker. Its purpose is to match people in the Yale community with other people who are also runners, and to get them on the same page in terms of pace and distance of their runs, and to connect them so that they can go on a run together.
That's awesome. So, yeah, go on.
Well, would you like to try it, or should I try it for you?
Should I register?
I think you should register for an account.
Do you already have a username?
Well, you should make your own account.
So should I actually enter my email? Got it. Yale.edu. 1.
It's a good
I'm
password.
playing it safe.
Okay, so welcome to Running Buddy New Haven. Your first step is going to be to create a profile, so that we know some information about your running preferences. So go ahead and either click the link or the tab.
Profile.
Yes.
Age 0. So I update my information.
Go ahead and update your information, yeah. You can also type it in, either one. And then you also want to edit your preferences because that's going to be the most important factor in our matching.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really fast.
You're so fast. Good luck
When do
finding
you
you a
prefer
match.
to run? Early morning.
Great, so you have your profile, and your
So am
next
I
step
done?
is to find your matches.
Let's
if you
find
are
matches.
interested, which you should be. So you're going to have 3 categories of matches displayed. If
I have
you
no perfect
somebody-
matches.
Well, you're really fast.
Yeah, that's a problem sometimes.
But if you have a pace match or a distance match, it might also be a good option to go on a run with somebody in those categories.
we matched. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Or is
except
this another Shannon?
no, that's me.
That's you.
That's my my quick workout, less
Okay,
than 2 miles.
So you kind of have 2 axes based on which you decide who matches whom.
Right.
And then how do you actually like find the person and go for a run with them?
Well, you have an option to compose an email to that person on the far right. So if you decide that you want to run with me, even though I'm running 10 miles less than you would prefer,
Of course.
you can send me an email.
Okay.
So it's going to display as from you and to me. You can compose the email content here, and the actual email will come from the Running Buddy bot. But the reply to field will be your personal email, so we'll be able to start a correspondence.
So in your life before CS50, have you found yourself in need of such software? Is that
Yes.
why you created it?
Yeah, I created it because I'm a runner and I don't like to run alone. But it's hard to sync up with my friends sometimes. And I've also talked to a bunch of other people who are runners, and this is something that they actually really need in their lives, especially if you're training for a big race and you want to find a partner.
So do you envision the running buddy actually being used by many Yale students?
It could be.
It could become a thing.
Yeah, maybe.
You can advertise it. Marketing is everything.
Yeah, maybe I should take a marketing class.
I think you should.
next.
I think you should like actually start using it with your friends, and maybe people will like love the idea.
That'd be cool. Next step, Facebook.
Awesome. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
So nice having you with us.
I'm Shannon, and this is CS50.
Hi, I'm Amelia. I'm a course assistant for CS50, and I'm here interviewing Amy about her final project. Amy, do you want to tell us a little bit about what your final project is?
Sure. So I made a website that allows users to register, and then they'll get random prompts every time they log back in, or actually every time they refresh the page. And then they can submit all of their work via a text box, and then that'll be collated into a portfolio that they can then access and also send to other people.
That's so cool. Can you show us how something like that would go? Can you do a demo for us?
Sure. So I'll pick a username. I'll pick the username CS50.
Awesome.
And let's say that my password is just going to be 12345, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to register. Now, so you can see now that it's giving me a prompt. So let's say that I don't really want to write about feeling lost in a crowd. So I'm going to ask it to prompt me again or just refresh the page. Either one works. I'm going to ask it to prompt me. Oh, that doesn't seem like it loaded. There we go.
You got it.
So it'll prompt me and it'll give me a new prompt. So the way the system also works is that it will never give me the same prompt twice if I've already responded to one prompt. So I'm going to insert some filler text that I've already copied. So that's a bunch of filler text. I'm going to hit submit. And it will take me to my portfolio now, where it'll show me the basically everything that I've written so far. And if I go back and do it again, if I say prompt me again, and then do that again and hit submit, and you can see now that it's generating the same thing.
Very cool. And so where did you get these prompts from?
So I actually got them online. I have a little credit at the bottom, but I got them online from thinkwritten.com.
Very cool. And so you collected those and put them into a database, or very nice. That seems super cool. And do you want to just tell us about what was the most difficult part of this, or what was the hardest thing for you to get working?
So the most difficult part was probably scaling the project enough so that it could actually be a final project, so that it was small enough to kind of fit in the time frame, but also large enough that it was really worthy of being a final project. So I actually originally wanted to be an email service, Then collated all of these things, and also I wanted the backend database to allow for art prompts as well, so it would be able to store files. The problem though was that I wanted to use a different API for a third-party database, or also an API for MailChimp as the email automation. And
As
just
opposed to
couldn't-
MySQL, or
as opposed to MySQL, and just couldn't get either one of those to work in the space that I had. So I resorted to just doing a website instead.
Very nice. The classic APIs problem.
Basically.
Very difficult. Well, this is super awesome, Amy. Thanks so much for telling us about your project.
Yeah, thanks for asking me.
I'm really excited about it. And I'm Amelia. This is CS50.
Hi everyone, I'm here at the fair with Antonio, and he's got something really cool to present to us.
Yeah.
So Antonio, yeah, please go right in.
Yeah, so I made a website designed for people. If you don't know a lot of music theory, or you want to learn. It starts off with telling you basically how music works, and it shows you the different progressions that are made in traditional music theory. So then it lets you start building. So what it does, if you can pick C major or C minor. So if we have C major, it gives you suggestions for chords based off of what you've already picked. So if you go from the 2 chord to then the 7, it'll give you suggestions for all these different chords, and maybe the 3, the 4, and then to the 5, back to the 1. And then you can play it back to hear what it sounds like.
Oh, so the suggestions are based on what sounds good slash harmonic.
Exactly. So maybe if you want a song to sound maybe sad or happy, it'll give you those suggestions based off of.
That's pretty cool. So is this designed for someone to learn music theory, or someone to learn guitar? Like, I can see how this could be useful for people that want to know how.
Yeah,
to
definitely. I thought back to how when I started back in my music theory class in high school, and I remember looking at this chart right here, like a million times, just learning how the chord progressions would work and how this chord feels better after this chord and this chord and this chord and this chord, and then it just builds off of that. So the algorithm decides if you pick the 2, it'll give you the 1, the 5, the 7, or the 4.
This is really cool. So so I guess the question is, coming into the class, did you expect that computer science could serve so many purposes?
Definitely. I mean,
this is an educational.
I knew that computer science I could do a lot, but I didn't think I would be able to do so much.
But you are.
Yeah, which I think is pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool as well. Okay. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm here with Joe and Roy. And they have something really cool to present to us. So please, guys, dive right in.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm a sophomore in Morse, and our website called UCal, its purpose is to be able to add events going on Yale's campus and tag the event, and then filter a calendar based on those tags to just view the events you want to see.
So hi, I'm Roy. I'll take you through an example. So let's add an event. So you would type in an event. We won't actually do this now, but you type in an event, a location, a start and an end date, all the details and a description. And then the cool, important thing is that you tag it with one of these tags that classifies the event. And then when you view calendar, here Joe will show you.
When you view the calendar, you can, so you pick the tags of the events you want to see, and then only those events that have those tags will show up. And then, so here are the events that have been tagged with the tags I chose.
And if we click on an event, let's look at the CS50 fair, you get the details pop up. So the event, location, description, etc. And yeah, that's it. Just allows you to create a customizable calendar.
That's awesome. So do you guys see yourselves maybe using this in the future? I mean, even if it's not used, I think that even if it's not used by many people, you can still add the events that interest you and then sort them for yourself, and then have a better sense of what's going on campus and maybe beyond, because it's not just limited to Yale.
That's true, but I think the optimal usage would be if a lot of people are using it and uploading events, and this calendar is public, so everyone would be able to see. Yeah, maybe, who knows, maybe we'll get people to start using it.
Yeah.
Did you guys expect coming into CS50 that you'd end up making something really cool and potentially really useful?
Definitely not that. Yeah, this was.
But why?
I like just doing this calendar definitely showed both of us how much we've learned this semester and in the class.
That's really exciting. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
And you can say goodbye to the camera.
Okay. I'm Joe.
And I'm Roy.
And this is CS50.
Hi, my name is Amelia, and I'm a course assistant for CS50. And I'm here interviewing Tanya about her final project. Tanya, you want to go ahead and introduce your final project to us? Can you give us a demo and show us how it works?
Yeah, of course. So my final project is called Fastlane, and it's basically a ride-sharing website for Yale students. So this is the homepage, and it has a picture of 2 college-age students driving. And so if you scroll down, you can see how it works. And if you hover over these icons, it tells you basically like the different steps that you have to take. And then you can also see the benefits of using this website. So you can save time, money, and the environment by using Fastlane. So let's go ahead. We can register, but I'll just go ahead and log you into my account.
Okay. Yeah, I can hold your... I see you have very nice form validation going on.
All right, so this is the homepage, and so if I'm a Yale student and I'm a driver, I can go ahead and offer a ride directly from the homepage, but I don't have a car with me and I kind of want to go home and I want to ride home. So let's say I'm going home from New Haven, Connecticut to Washington, D.C., and I'm going on the 21st, which is my last exam. Woo! And I'm leaving in the afternoon. So I want to ride at that time, so I'll post the request. And then let's say a driver comes along and they want to view the available ride requests. So there's my ride that I just posted.
Whoa! Yeah. Hey, really nice.
And then if I have a question about the ride before I want to actually send them an offer, I can go ahead and contact them. And there's this form where they can fill it out, and then it sends me an email. But let's say that I'm already ready to like go ahead and send them an offer, so I can click send offer. And then now I can go to my pending offers and I see that I have an offer from myself.
Nice. Helpful.
Yeah, to take me home on the 21st. And as you can see, I just got an email from Fastlane, as it shows up here, that I got an offer. So now I can approve it. And then I'll get another email telling me the email of the person who sent me the offer.
Wow, that's super cool. That's really impressive. So do you want to tell us a little bit about like how you got the inspiration for this project or what your process was?
Yeah, sure. So a few months ago we had October break on campus, and I kind of didn't plan anything beforehand, but like the week before I was like, oh, I really want to go home this week. But then when I checked like ticket prices on Amtrak, they were like expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was trying to like see if any of my friends were going back to the DC area, because that's where I'm from, around like October break, but nobody was really driving back there. So I was like, it would be really nice to have a website like this where I can find other Yale students who are going to the same place as me at the same time. So that's kind of where the inspiration came from.
Wow, that's really cool. And what was sort of like the hardest part of getting this project to work, getting it off the ground?
I think the hardest part was just like, I wanted to put together so many features, but I didn't have that much time. So I don't know, just like coming up with new ideas on the spot and being like, oh, I want to implement that now. Like kind of like form validation. Yeah. Like, I was typing things in and I was like, I kind of want to do like client-side validation. I was like, okay, now I have to figure out how to do that. Just,
Right.
like, all these things popping up and so many things to like try to manage with one person designing it. That was probably the hardest part.
Yeah, for sure. And what would be like if you had more time and you could make another feature? What would that other feature be?
So originally I kind of wanted to use a Google Maps API to kind of display a visual map of all of the rides that are going. Yeah, so if I had more time I would put that into place, but...
Wow, that would be really, really cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you should definitely like over winter break or something.
I'll probably work on that.
That sounds really cool. And finally, what would you say is the thing that you're most proud of about this website?
Probably just like the user interface. That was definitely the most fun I had because I do graphic design on the side. So I kind of like created the design before I actually went and coded it. So just like trying to figure out how to make the navigation bar and making like all the icons, that was probably the best part of the project.
Yeah, I have to say, I came over to like looking around at the projects and I went, wait, is she just like on a regular website or is that her project? I don't know. It looks so great. If you want to scroll through again to show everyone this fabulous CSS that you have going on here. This looks really cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being interviewed. I'm so excited about this project. My name is Amelia, and this is CS50.
Hey everyone, my name is Shreyas, and I'm standing here with 2 students at the CS50 fair at Yale University. You guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your project?
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm a junior here at Yale studying global affairs.
And I'm Trey. I'm a sophomore here at Yale, and I'm studying applied math.
And our project was LinkUp with .me. It's a great website to promote our job recruiting application, currently under development with the same name. This talks a little bit about our background as a company and about our background as a website and a tool to revolutionize the job process and the job recruiting process as well.
So what was the inspiration for all this?
So we saw what the current process is. We saw how companies currently promote their events, how companies really get the word out, and we knew a better tools existed or should exist. Right now it's simplicity in a lot of schools, and really the user face is pretty clunky. The UI really doesn't get the job done. And when the company's first question, a lot of events was, how can we better reach the students? We knew that there was room there for improvement.
Cool, and so you developed this company?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a separate platform for students and for recruiters. So let's take a look at the student platform first. So students will be greeted after they indicate their interest with this lovely interface right here that shows them upcoming events in their area. It walks them through the type of the event, the dress code, and other important information like that. And they can RSVP right from their home screen of the application and do things even from send their resume to answer supplementary questions for the company. And right here, we're giving our online followers a special chance to be the first to learn about our beta launch. Same thing for recruiters right here. And they have a different interface. Do you want to talk a little about the recruiting interface?
Yeah, sure, yeah. So most of what our recruiter interface focuses on is allowing recruiters to search for like highly desired students, right? So like essentially a recruiter is able to look up students by school, by GPA, by major, and essentially ping those students and ask them like, hey, like apply to our job, right? You want to talk more about it?
Yeah.
So you guys want to tell us a little bit about the technical infrastructure behind this project? So like what are the kinds of technologies that you used? What were some of the challenges that you ran into during development?
Yeah, so right now the application itself is still under development, but our most technologically intensive part of the website itself was our try it page where you can simulate the actual use of the application and see what it would be like to be a student on LinkUp with .me. Do you want to talk a little more about the technical side of the page?
Yeah. So the try it page pretty much uses a simple like C-School database, also with like PHP as well. Essentially, most of it is. Would you like to log in for me, Gerard? Yeah. Or like sign up as a random person. Yeah. So essentially, what it does is that it allows students to sign up or register for the program, and gives you an idea of what it would look like inside the app, right? Now, obviously, we don't have the same technical skills and like design skills that be required for like the full app right now, but this is just to give you a brief idea of what it's going to kind of look like when it's done.
So basically you're putting in some of your interests in there, a little bit of personal information, and this gets entered into a database?
And if you want to find, let's say, I'm interested in finding an event, say, about a local recruiting company, one that has an event coming up at Yale, let's say McKinsey. Then right there, we'll say what school I am. And there's a hypothetical event that could be happening at Yale.
Cool.
So that's right now is a first simulation, but that's what it will look like.
Yeah.
Awesome project, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm Shreyas.
Oh, I'm Trey.
And I'm Adam.
And this is CS50.
Hello world, we're here at the CS50 Fair at Yale. I'm Nicole Fish. I was a TA this year, a senior. I'm a computer science and psychology major, and I found a great project here to demo to you today. Hi guys, how are you?
Hi guys, my name's Wei Tai. I'm Lance Chantillis.
And I'm Jack Wesson.
Excellent. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the project that you created here?
Sure, so we created a website called Alpis, and it will formulate your night for you. And the idea came from sort of having a vague idea of what you wanted to do in a night, but not really knowing exactly what the best options were. So with this, you can sort of put in your preferences between drinks, food, music, performance, and movie, and they'll give you the best option based on what you wanted to do.
That sounds great. It solves a lot of problems, I bet.
Yes.
Excellent. So where is this currently looking for all of these restaurants and movies and places, performances?
Sure. Do you want to take this one?
Sure. So right now it's looking in Times Square because Times Square has a lot of stuff going on. New Haven's kind of a black area when it comes to any API for some reason. There's nothing on the grid. So we are just using Times Square for now.
Excellent. Sounds like a good idea, especially because in Times Square it can be so overwhelming, the choices that you have.
It's true.
Excellent. Can you give us a little demo of how the website works?
Great, so let's say you want to pick a food category.
So you click on the food tab, and then you pick a cuisine type, let's say Italian. You also pick any dietary restrictions if you have any. So let's go with no restrictions. And well, let's go for a swanky restaurant, so $4 signs. And then you click the button below.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, and it will return you, let's see what it gives us, Lavo, which is on 39th East 58th Street. And it gives you the cuisine, the rating, the opening time, the hours, and the website URL where you can go find out more about the restaurant. So if you click the flask, it will bring you back to the homepage.
Okay, great. And I think you were saying that previously you're going to try and confirm a reservation or make a reservation with the flasks?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll use OpenTable for restaurants, and hopefully we'll use Fandango for tickets.
Excellent.
And
cool.
we can actually just book things directly from the website.
Great,
hopefully.
yeah.
And then also, let's say you want to go to a movie that night as well. If you just click on the movie tab, let's say you want to go to Adventure. So In the Heart of the Sea is the best adventure film that's playing in the moment. And they'll give you the theater name, the times, and also the URL info to actually book it there.
Great. Which websites are you using to return this data?
So we're using GraceNote for our movies, and we're using Factual for our food. And I believe we were using the New York Times API for the other performance and event-based categories.
Excellent. That sounds great. And then tell me about these fantastic shirts that you all have on.
Okay. Here, you can take this one.
Well, Lance designed the shirts, and he also got the maker to print them out. Yeah. So he did the graphics for the website.
Great.
Just the name comes from alchemy and the Greek word for city polis. So that's sort of formulating your night, and that's why the test tube, the city's in the test tube.
Excellent.
So.
I love how you guys thought about everything, including branding. This
Thank
sounds
you.
great. It's a great way for the website to take off.
Thank you so much.
Can you each just tell me briefly what was your favorite thing and most difficult thing about CS50?
I need time to think about that.
All right. Well, I think CS50 was a great course. It really challenged you in what you knew and what you can do. And I sort of feel at the end you really came out knowing a lot more, and also knowing how to learn. Sort of you were given these skills, but also how to apply them later on into sort of new languages and sort of be able to go forward into a new field.
Definitely.
My favorite part in CS50 was actually programming the try with the spell checker.
Oh, nice.
It was really challenging, but at the end of the day, I thought it was worth it, despite the fact that none of us started with any CS background, and it's very difficult to do with C. Yeah.
Definitely a try. Doing something like a try really solidifies CS concepts in a way that other data structures don't always.
Yeah, I guess my favorite would probably be just the idea that we sat down to kind of make this and just made a website. We had a night to kind of like compile something, and we could do it. And we could actually manifest what we were thinking onto a computer.
Yeah.
It's a very cool idea.
Very cool. It's very cool that now you guys have a whole different way of solving problems in the world.
Totally.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's great to meet all of you.
Thank you.
And this was Alpis at CS50.
Hey guys, Shreyas again. I'm with another amazing group here at the CS50 fair at Yale University. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit and talk a little bit about your project?
Sure, so just to introduce myself, I'm Aurora Shu. I'm an MB&B major, senior at Yale in Morse College.
I'm Crystal Ormiston. I'm also a senior. I'm in Silliman College, and I'm an English major. I'm the odd one out of the RGB triple.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm a senior in Silliman College, and I'm also a molecular biophysics and biochemistry major.
So can you guys tell us a little bit about your project? What is it? What inspired you? What excites you about your time in CS50?
Sure. So I'll start off answering some of the first few questions you had. So our website is an interactive educational website to get young kids involved in STEM and to get them excited about it, especially because Aurora and I are both MB&B majors. So that's really where the idea came from.
Yeah, so it's basically an educational website. We have a lot of fun games, kind of interactive activities. We have 3 big units, so DNA, RNA, and proteins. We start clicking on DNA, for example. You can go through and look at different slides and information, review the topic. When you click on the menu here in the corner, we can explore a little bit more about the website. So each subsection has a topic video. So we press on one of the topic videos.
Did you guys film these topic videos yourselves?
We did. We did. It was all very exciting. This is like my job. Yeah.
Must have been a lot of work.
Yeah, and Aurora and Sophia populated the websites with their knowledge of MB&B and
Gotta show off our 4 years of MB&B knowledge.
Our education
but just to give you guys a snippet of what one of our videos looks like, this is the video about DNA, and I'll just let it play for a little bit.
With Seabell and
better right now because we're wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, we decided to dress the same.
All the DNA in all of your cells, you would reach the moon 6,000.
Yeah, the RGB triple. So I'm the R, red.
99% of our DNA.
Yeah, we
Very cool.
Yeah, and just to. Yeah, so just to talk a little bit, I guess, about our team. So we've been friends for a while now, but this project really brought us together because it was a lot of hours, many hours spent together.
Yeah.
Late hours,
Like
but it's
it.
been a lot of fun, and we've learned so much about programming. Obviously, a lot about HTML, JavaScript, CSS, which is what this entire web page consists of. So just to scroll through, this is us in class. Here are a few pictures.
So, you guys had mentioned earlier a little bit about getting people more involved with the STEM community. I know something that really gets me involved are like games and stuff. Do you guys have any games on your site?
Yes, we do. Okay, so our website features 2 games, one for DNA, which I'll show you right now. This is a matching game. Here, do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I made this game. It's all, something that we found out from this class is Google is so helpful. So we Googled a lot and used Google and a couple YouTube links to kind of create this. So
how do you play this game?
So it's a matching game essentially, but it's a little trickier. So instead of it just being, direct match, like look for A, if you found A, you're actually trying to get the complementary pair. So CCC, you'd be looking for GGG. So it just adds that extra level of intimidation, and it's a lot of fun, but
It's actually quite hard to play.
it takes a while.
So that matches.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then Aurora, do you want to talk through our Hangman game?
Yeah, sure. So we have one more game featured on this webpage, and it goes with our protein section. So after, obviously, the students go through the protein information slides and watch our protein video, they can play the game. And this is a Hangman game. And essentially, in this word bank, we've populated the 20 amino acids that are naturally found in the human body. And so this game essentially tests their knowledge of, I guess, how to spell, but then also if they can retrieve the amino acid.
Spelling's important.
Spelling is important.
Cool.
So if we just play this game a little, let me get one wrong. Okay, so then I get a head, the body, and
How
so
did
on
you
and so
guys
forth.
code all of this? What was the back end behind this game?
Yeah, so essentially this is composed of a bunch of divs, right, which are sections in the web page. And specifically this Hangman, so that section is its own div. So if the letter guess is incorrect, then it automatically populates a head, and then it's a body, and then it's the left arm, and then the right arm, and so on and so forth. So it's specific to that specific div. The guessing the letter and what shows up on the bottom is sort of its own section. It's all JavaScript and HTML. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks to Code Academy.
Thanks to, yeah.
Have you guys thought about pitching this to your teachers at all, or showing this to the rest of the department?
I don't know if we have any plans to do that quite yet, but we've certainly started with our friends.
So our targeted audience is a little bit younger. They're more like kids and preteens. So not quite our classmates.
Cool. Local New Haven schools.
Yeah, actually that'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Wow, sounds awesome. Great project, guys.
Thank you.
So again, I'm Shreyas.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Christabel.
I'm Aurora.
And this is CS50.
This is Fish again at the CS50 Fair at Yale, and I have here the creators of Upbeat. Can you guys introduce yourselves for me?
Hi, I'm Harmon.
I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Davey.
Excellent, and tell me what this amazing website is, Upbeat.
So Upbeat is basically Tinder for couples. It's to facilitate couples to go on double dates with one another. So they create a profile, they can view other profiles, and then match with couples, ultimately facilitating double dates.
So the idea behind this project was that couples these days it's kind of hard to find other people with similar interests as couples have. So what this website allows them to do is find these other couples with similar interests, with similar schedules, and just make new friends, in general. So we kind of wanted to make a social or a website or an idea that would help out this community, and I think that this can definitely do that.
Excellent, cool. Can we give a little demo of how this might work?
Sure, so we'll just start out by creating a new user as if a new couple were creating an account on this website. So we'll go to register,
And then once here, we'll come up with a couple name like Jamila for Jason and Zamila. So you have an option to enter in both the first person's name and the second person's name. So you have one name that identifies you as a couple, but then each of your separate names as well. So when we go into the website, we have to create a profile so you can upload a photo. And this is just straight from your computer, uploading from your directory. So once we choose a photo here, we can also choose interests and kind of make this couple unique. What do they like to do together?
We like cherry picking, for example.
So now that your profile is created, you can go to the home page of the website, and this is where you'll see the slideshow that you would see like on Tinder, where you can say yes or no to the people based on their photos and their interests. So as we go through, we'll say yes and no to some people, but when we get to still, this is a profile that we've already logged into in an incognito window, and if we say yes to them, and we go into their website, and we say yes to Jamila as if we were still, that creates a match.
Excellent.
So here we have the option to view their profile by clicking on their name. And we also have the option to go into a private chat room with them and start making plans for that double date.
So these are all the people you've matched with already, yeah?
Yeah.
There's quite a few matches because we were using this profile for demonstration, like, at the fair. So, but this is like a brand new match that we're making right now.
Excellent. And tell me how this chat room works.
David?
Yeah, so basically what's happening is when you match with someone, you are given a unique match ID in a database. And any messages that you then send with them are associated with that match ID. So when we need to display these messages that are coming up here on the user interface, what we need to do is query this database for anything where the match ID is equal to the match ID that we're currently using. Once we get those messages from our now messages table, we simply do a for loop where if it's from me, put it on the right side of the page. If it's from them, put it on the left side of the page. So you might expect something like if ID equals session ID, as in my ID, put it on the right, etc. And then that's how we are printing out, as you can see on this page, Still's messages on the left side, my messages on the right side. And then any new message that I show up changes the database, refreshes the page, and automatically gets shown up once again on this page.
What a great way to tie in basic concepts from problem set 1 and problem set 7. This is awesome, guys. What was the most difficult thing that you guys overcame with in this project?
So we have a private chat room, and before this we also had a public chat room, and this public chat room worked as like you would input a name and you would input a message, and it kind of had an anonymity aspect to it, in that you could input any name, and that was kind of troublesome because we didn't want it to be like that. We wanted it so that it got your session ID or it got your username and put it there so people would know who's the message is coming from. But it was really hard to implement that, and so it still exists, but we kind of took it off the website for now until we figured it out. But I guess that was one of the hardest things that we came across.
Yeah, when we were trying to do that, we were using Angular JavaScript, and in order to do this, we were kind of using some techniques that we had just recently learned. And when you're in computer science, as soon as you learn something, you want to go and try to implement it because it's really exciting. But we realized that we need to learn a little bit more before we can implement something that we feel safe just putting on the website for it to be how it is. And we understood SQL and we understood PHP very well just from the course. We focused on so many different languages, so it's really nice to have those in our back pocket.
Excellent.
One other thing that I'll just briefly describe to you how it works is how you say yes to someone and then how you match with them. So what that basically involved was two different tables. One where anytime I said yes to them, that goes into a proposals table, and then I need to wait for them to say yes to me because people aren't saying yes to each other at the exact same time. So when that person then says yes to them, that goes through the proposals table, finds where that is, and if there's the complement of the current match there. It then goes into the matches table, and that's a whole new table that we can then query whenever you go into, let's say, this matches icon and say, who have I matched with? And then that's, of course, as I described before, associated with this messages table. So it was just really cool to integrate all of these ideas going from one table to the next, where the next table relies on the information from the table before, and the logic there was figuring that out and making it as streamlined as possible was definitely something that took a lot of work.
You guys sound like you did a lot of work and you ended up with an amazing, amazing website. This is Upbeat at the Yale Fair, and this is CS50.
Hey guys, I'm Shreyas here again, and I'm here at the CS50 Fair at Yale University with...
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm a junior in Saybrook. I'm a mechanical engineering major, and this is Context 50.
Cool. You want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Sure. So Context 50 is essentially a contacts manager website. You can create an account if you don't already have one, but I'll use one just as an example. And you can log in. It'll take you to a list of contacts that you've already saved. You can click on any to go ahead and see the details, and it'll list out everything that you've saved in the database. If you want to edit anything, you can go in and edit it. It pre-fills everything, so you can go in, you can add new phone numbers, you can delete old ones, stuff like that. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. It'll confirm, just to make sure that you're not accidentally doing anything that you might regret in the future. And then you can go ahead and save things. One of the really cool things is that if you have any addresses saved in the database, you can click and it'll show it to you in Google Maps, and it'll bring it up right to that person's address.
Cool. So what was the inspiration behind this project? What drove you to redevelop the Contacts app?
So we had done something similar in one of the P-sets, and I thought it was really cool how you can take this framework and apply it in a lot of different contexts. So essentially taking a very similar framework and using it in a very different situation, I thought was a really cool application of that, of what we had learned.
So I noticed that this is online. Does it work on phones at all?
Yes, it does also work on phones. I didn't realize that it did up until just a little while ago when I was showing it to someone. So essentially what you can do is you can show it. Yeah. I need my other hand to...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can search, you can have all the functionality that you would have in a normal web browser. If you wanted to search for someone, it also works on the phone as well.
Does it autocomplete?
It does autocomplete. It uses the Twitter type ahead plugin, and you can search for someone as well. And the Google Maps functionality also works here, where you can, and it opens up in the Google Maps app as well instead of in the Google Maps website.
That's really cool. So how did you develop the app? What's the technical backend?
Yeah, so the website display is done in HTML. All of the code is run in PHP, and then the data is stored in a SQL database.
That's really awesome.
Thank you.
And what a great project to see here at the CS50 Fair. So again, I'm Shreyas.
I'm Ryan, and this is CS50.
Hello again, this is Fish at the CS50 Fair at Yale. I have Eleanor here who made a super cool haiku generator. Eleanor, can you tell me a little bit about your project?
Sure. So what it is it's a random haiku generator, and it uses a bunch of random number generators to kind of determine the different orders in which the words in the haiku are written. So you can either write a haiku to express your undying love and affection for someone, or to break up with someone.
What else would you write a haiku for?
Exactly. Those are really the only two reasons. So let's give it a try, I guess. Because I really like pizza. So I'm going to do that. So yeah.
An ode to pizza. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Thanks.
What about if you wanted to break up with someone? Where is a sample one for that?
Okay, so let's break up with pizza, alas. I don't know why anyone would do that, but if you wanted to do that.
Dark sunwise fall.
Yeah.
And so if you were to refresh this page, would it generate another one?
It would indeed. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Teapots really fall.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration for creating this?
So basically, I talked to someone who does a lot of work with computational linguistics, and she was saying that something I'm really trying to work on is to try and make a program that writes poems. And I'm like, oh, I could do that.
That's great.
So I started with the haiku, which is admittedly pretty small, and there are really set syllable kind of barriers for each line. So it was kind of a good structure to work in, and yeah.
Can we talk a little bit more about the code? There are very specific syllable structures. How did you work that in?
Yeah. So basically, if we go to fillers.php, all the words in the haiku are organized by part of speech and by whether they're singular or plural, and by number of syllables and by purpose. So if it's a love poem or a breakup poem. So then when you go to the actual poem generator, it uses a random number generator to kind of determine the structure of the poem. So like you see, if it chooses a number between 1 and 14 for the first line, or between 0 and 14 for the first line.
So that'll be 14 different possible first lines that it could generate?
Or 14 different possible structures for first lines.
Got
and
it.
then within those, each word has 5 different possible
off by one errors, big in computer science.
Yeah, right? I know. Oh my gosh, the zero index thing really gets me. But so you see in fillers.php, each kind of array has 5 different possibilities, and there's a different random number generator within each word that's concatenated.
That's really awesome how you were able to take basic concepts as we learned, like random number generators and arrays, and we're able to make haikus, millions of haikus just based on that. That's so fantastic.
Thanks.
What was the most rewarding thing about CS50 this semester?
Oh gosh, honestly probably the final project, because I had no idea that once kind of released on my own, I could actually do something. And it's really kind of rewarding to come up with an idea and execute it from start to finish, which isn't something I'd really thought about while taking the course at all. It was just kind of getting the problem sets and learning new things.
Right.
But yeah, this is next level.
Yeah. Are you considering a future in computer science at all?
Probably. I think I'll definitely take another course.
Excellent.
Probably won't major in it. I'm, a nice American studies major. I take humanities classes and they're really fun. But
awesome.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to. So.
Great. Thank you for demoing your project with us.
No problem.
This is Eleanor and Fish at the CS50 Fair at Yale.
Hey guys, this is Shreyas again at the CS50 Fair at Yale University. And we're here to introduce another really cool project done by some students. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Khalid Cannon. I'm a junior from Gadsden, Alabama. I'm a chemistry major here at Yale.
Hi, I'm Taylor McHugh. I'm a senior in TD. I'm from Orlando, Florida.
So our project is called Bulldogs Next Door, and we built a website. It's PHP based, and what we did was we compiled a list of all the varsity athletes here at Yale.
Wow, how did you guys manage to do that?
A lot of hours of coding. What we did was we went on Yale Facebook, and first we went on the Yale Varsity Athletics website and got all the rosters and downloaded, and then we went on Yale Facebook and found out which college they're all in. And then after that it was...
my students!
Let's go! And then after that it was just basic SQL injections, stuff like that.
Cool, do you guys want to show us a little bit about how your website works?
Sure, so on the homepage you have links to, this one takes you to the Yale Athletics College homepage, and then you can go to any of the colleges. So I'm in TD, so if I want to go and see what athletes are playing this week, I would click on this, and right now it's finals, only women's basketball is playing, but it'll show me the dates and times for the next 7 days of any games that are going on. And then if I click on this link, it'll take me to all of the athletes within my college, and I can see oh, I didn't know so-and-so was on this team.
Yeah, cool.
It makes it a very uncomplicated way to see what's going on in your college.
Cool, yeah, I should start using this to go to people's games. So what was the inspiration behind this project? Why did you guys want to do it?
This summer I worked at the Yale Athletics marketing office, and we were just talking about ways to get Yale students more involved with Yale Athletics. And we found that more Yale students have an allegiance to their college more so than the university as a whole. So we're just trying to find a way to integrate the college experience with the Yale college experience.
Cool. Have you guys thought about giving out this website or handing out the source code to Payne Whitney or the Yale Athletics office directly?
Yeah, I was actually planning on going to talk to my boss about it next semester when I have a little more time and see if we can get it linked together with the Bulldog Rewards program.
Cool. Does this work on phones at all?
We haven't tried that yet. It should.
Awesome. Well, it seems like you guys have a really great project going, and this is definitely something I'll be using.
Thank you.
So, again, I'm Shreyas.
I'm Khalid.
I'm Taylor.
And this
is CS50.
Fish again at the CS50 Fair at Yale. I have Rebecca here with a cool iPhone app that she made. Rebecca, can you talk to me a little bit about your project?
Yes, so it's a video journaling app called Snapbook, which pretty much allows you to record short videos, about 3 seconds over the course of a day. And then at the end of the day, you can merge all 5 of them into one 15-second video that you have as a memory at the end of the day.
That sounds great. Let's see a little demo maybe. What does the interface look like?
So the interface is pretty much, you have the record, assemble, and view functions, and you can't record or view on the computer. But the assemble looks like this, and you can click on the little icons, and they should turn pink once you've loaded the videos.
Excellent.
And you can also load the audio by clicking on the little record player. And then if you go back, can I view them on here? Turn it this way.
You can show it just maybe to the screen.
Great, sounds
here.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you can do is you can go to your videos. Yes, that would be great. So you can play all videos, and then you can select, here's a 15-second one. You can watch it. Right.
This is a video that you already merged from the 3-second clips and added your own music to? That sounds so cool. Can you show how that process works?
For sure. So what you would do, and I'm just going to hold it again, thank you. So what you would do is you'd select on the camera app, you'd go through and you'd select any random video. This one is 3 seconds, so that looks good. I just have here a bunch of clips that I've been taking over my time here and of random people who have visited my booth. So we're just going to select 5 videos, and...
Do you have to select all 5?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Because it makes for a much
yeah.
more full video experience.
Yeah.
So we are going through. We're on video number 4, and my screen remains cracked. I got it. I have to take this for a second. Ah, I got it. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go up. Great, one more. And let's just take this.
Cool.
Great.
And then you can choose music, you said, too?
Yes, and the music is optional, so you don't
wow,
have
so
to.
it already pulls up your music loaded on your phone.
Yeah, it pulls up everything I have.
Excellent.
So we're going to choose a song. I can see. Let's go. Okay, so we've chosen a song. Now we can merge everything.
Hit the merge button, and it does its magic?
Yep.
Cool.
And now the video is made. And now it should be our most recent video if we view all of our videos.
Oh, excellent.
So I can actually play the one that we just made, which...
Very cool. So this is an iPhone app. You use Swift? That's so ambitious. Had you ever programmed in Swift before?
I had not. I'd never programmed in anything before this class, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the process of learning that like?
It was a long and somewhat difficult process, but I think there was a point where I started to understand how to use Swift, and so that I wasn't just sort of trying blindly to make the app work. And then at that point, it got a lot simpler, and I could really get it to do more of what I wanted it to do.
Great.
So, yeah.
Are you thinking about submitting this to the App Store?
Only if I make everything pastel.
Okay, color scheme, branding, very important.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks so much for demoing that for us.
Thank you so much for
Rebecca
having me.
and Fish at the CS50 Fair at Yale.
Well, thanks everyone for coming to the CS50 Fair here at Yale. We've had a fantastic day with popcorn and cotton candy and some really amazing student projects. David, thank you guys so much for coming down, for getting all of this started here. We've really had a remarkable semester, and it has been a real pleasure. And as you can hear, we're winding down for the day. but this has been a great day for everyone here.
For us as well. It's been an honor to be here at Yale University and Harvard University, and this has been the climax of an incredible semester between both Harvard and Yale. And indeed, adorning the walls here have been flags bearing the symbols of both Harvard and Yale, which has been special. But this is indeed now closing time.
A wonderful collaboration, closing time for us, but again, next year, we're looking forward to it.
Excellent. This was the CS50 Fair at Yale University, and this was CS50.